this is really new and innovative work that UN Women is supporting, working with Gulf Africa Bank, and we are looking at how we can get women-owned businesses into a market segment that they haven't really tapped before, and that is the private sector procurement market. And basically what I want to emphasize is that we have taken a building blocks approach. So we started this journey in Mombasa County. That was just about 2 months ago, and that was our first workshop. We invited over 200 women-owned businesses to participate in the workshop, and it was a 2-day forum. We started with creating awareness about procurement opportunities in the private sector, specifically Gulf Africa Bank. Then the second day of the same training, we narrowed down and went into a smaller group of women, about 75 of them, and the whole idea was to really have a more intimate discussion with the women-owned businesses, coming from awareness raising to now focusing more on skills building, really looking at tendering as a skill which can be transferred in any sector, any market, applied to the public sector market, to the private sector market, to the NGO market, to the UN market. So different kinds of market, but the skill is tendering skills. Now for me it was really encouraging because looking back at Mombasa, day one we had 200 women-owned businesses. Day two we had about 75, and at the end of the second day, Gulf Africa Bank then requested the women who were interested in doing business with them to kind of send in an expression of interest. And what happened was, after that forum, 57 participants out of the 75 demonstrated an expression of interest to do business with GAB through email and put in their the foot through the door. And what happened, and this is really encouraging, very encouraging, because then Gulf Africa Bank looked at the interest that was expressed and responded to the women, asking them for additional information and documentation that they would need now to really be considered as vendors for Gulf Africa Bank, pre-qualified vendors. And as a result of our training, the 2-day training, and then the interest that the women were showing, 6 women-owned companies applied using the standard pre-qualification tool or form, and they have now made it into the list of GAB pre-qualified vendors. For me, this is a huge achievement, starting from where we were, nowhere, to where we are today, 6 women in that list. So basically what's happening here now in Nairobi is a continuation. As I said, it's a building block approach. This is our second forum, and over here we have more than 220 participants, women-owned business. So going back to our 6 women, what's really interesting and inspiring for me is that looking at the sectors that they are interested in, we have women who are looking at general supplies as a sector. We have women who have applied to supply ICT materials. We also have women who want to do events management. So it's really kind of different types of angles, different types of sectors that they are kind of considering. But really, more than the sectors, I want to emphasize that 2 out of those 6 ladies that we are discussing here, it was after the training that they registered their businesses, which means that before the training they didn't even have a legally registered business. It's after the training it inspired or motivated them to go a step forward, and it's those 2 ladies who are part of the 6. This is really exciting, really exciting, and unbelievable for me as well, because tendering is not easy. Succeeding as a pre-qualified vendor for a private sector company like Gulf Africa Bank is not easy. So this is a demonstration of their commitment. Moving forward, what are we going to do next? As UN Women, we will continue our partnership with Gulf African Bank. We have in the pipeline one more county that we are going to cover between now and the end of the year. But in addition to that, We are also looking at now how can we support Gulf African Bank to develop very simple monitoring tools that can help them to track the progress of this initiative. Like I said, it's very innovative, it's cutting edge, it's new. They are amongst the few organizations who are opening up their procurement market to women-owned businesses, and they've committed in Mombasa that they are going to move from 4.5% where they were in at the beginning of this year, and they would like to see 20% of their vendor list, or vendor space to be occupied by women-owned businesses. So we are going to help them to track this progress, and that would probably involve developing some simple monitoring tools, also a review of their existing procurement policies, and see how we can engender those policies and bring these commitments to be part of those policies. So that's the way forward, and of course these are exciting times. We are looking forward, and we really hope that other companies in Kenya will borrow from the example of Gulf Africa Bank and take it up in their own spheres of procurement opportunities for women. So this is the Mombasa forum that we held in March, and we look at what's happening here in Nairobi in May. One thing that is really coming out very strongly is that in Mombasa we had many of the women who attended were not yet formally registered as companies. Here 90 or over 90% are already registered. They have a legally registered business as either as a sole proprietor or a limited company or as a partnership. So basically they are one step ahead. They are closer to being able to enter the procurement market because they are already procurement ready, having a legally registered business. What's also coming out very strongly is that the women are there. They are hungry for knowledge and information. They're really hungry. It's almost like saying you take this woman-owned company to a desert and they're looking for water and they're thirsty to drink this water, and this is what's happening here. 2 full days, no one is getting tired. They want more. They're asking questions. So they are hungry for information, which they can immediately apply as women-owned businesses and explore these opportunities which they are not really aware of as of now. So that's coming out very clearly. And the last one other issue in terms of topical issues, we have covered a lot of topics, if I may say so, during the training, and that includes business registration, tax issues. We have also looked into the whole element of financial status, bank accounts, all this we have covered. But the one sticky area is with regard to taxes. And so that has given us a lesson that moving forward we will need to really look at how can we bring the whole issue of taxation, demystify tax obligations and rights, and bring it down to a level that is easily digestible by the women, and so that we kill the fear once and for all. We don't want them to fear. We really want them to be comfortable with paying taxes and being business owners that are tax compliant. No, the turnout has been excellent for both workshops. We have reached 100%. What we targeted is exactly what we got in terms of numbers, and also in terms of the kind of the level of business ownership we were looking for. So the target is 100% spot on for both the workshops. Okay, like I said earlier, this approach we are taking is a building blocks approach, and we have started with Mombasa, and now we are in Nairobi, and we will probably go to Eldoret from here. And so basically we have started with the urban areas, and our intention hopefully is that our partners, Gulf African Bank, will then pick it up from there and also move into other areas where they have branch presence, and then slowly and gradually perhaps move even into other areas, rural areas included, where currently they don't have presence. But in terms of what we are looking, what is our target population? It is that micro and small enterprise. So whether you are in Mombasa or you are in Turkana or you are in Garissa, we are looking at the MSEs. So that's our target.